Welcome back to MCOC AlBundyRules. Got a Dr. Voodoo 4-minute tutorial for you today, showing you a quick little batch of some of what he can do. Before we start the tutorial, saw some massive poison damage going on. See some nice damage there as well as where he can be used. So now let's start off the tutorial with one of the more important parts with Dr. Voodoo is his LOAs. Each basic attack has a 10%, that little yellow thing up there, to appear. These LOAs are buffs, not debuffs, which is good, which means they don't get shrugged off. These don't do anything in themselves. I'm going to explain as we progress why these are important and why the more the better. Get them up so that you do a lot of basic attacks, they start to build up. And then especially as we get to our specials, we'll see. One thing we'll see on that special too is we launched right there, went from 4 to 1, as up to 3 can be converted into a power drain, which is extremely helpful, making Dr. Voodoo one of the best, I'm not saying the best, one of the best power controllers out there though, when his S2s are used correctly. You can build endless amounts of LOAs, so we'll see up there right now at 36 LOAs. S1 and S2 will convert some, so just keep building them up. Just use an S3 to recycle through the specials. That way you can convert them. As we see, they got 37, and look at that, almost 9,000 poison per tick. Keep in mind that goes on for 20 seconds, so that's some insane damage going on right there. Now, we're going to see extended buff. His Sig ability is great and Awaken. So he normally gets 10 seconds of Regan, but with a high Sig, like a Max Mind, gets 28 seconds. So it really extends the buff duration. The Awaken ability decreases ability accuracy as well. So whether it's on an even or not even, benefits Dr. Voodoo. Odds hurts the opponent is one way to look at it. So we're looking at this regeneration. Normally, it's supposed to be a 10-second regeneration, but with the Awakened ability and a high Sig, that keeps his higher buff duration, which keeps that Regan way longer, which means you heal a lot of health. I've gone from 1 to 100% health in 2 or 3 fights at times. So look at this. He's great against buff-heavy champs. We saw him convert 12 of those buffs into 12 poison, doing some massive damage. This specific node does a lot of buffs. So look at that. That's very helpful. So against buff heavy champs, buff heavy nodes, amazing. Takes away the buffs and turns into damage. Or just build them up. Rack them up as we see there. And crazy damage. Hundreds of thousands with 37 poisons over 20 seconds. That's a lot of damage. So he can do crazy, crazy damage. And then special 2 with the even count, attack turns 50% chance to burn defender power and turn into energy damage. So, look at that. Beautiful at his power. We saw those power burns going on right there. So one of the better power controls in the game. Especially just use those S2s. On even specifically, not odd. Use it on even, does great. Odds is fine too. I prefer even by far, but odds could be good if you can't get a lot of hits on because it leaks automatically 35%. So even's good if you're able to play aggressive. Odd is if you can't play as aggressive on that S2. We'll notice how that little V-shaped looking thing for the brother Daniel, who it's on based on even, it's going to be on Voodoo. If it's odd, it's going to be on the defender. And then here's the S3, which does the power leak, and at the end, as you see the little red thing, when that's over, we get a major power gain equivalent to what was taken. One main tip is use that S1. If they're subject to poison, you can do a lot of damage, either buff heavy, nodes or opponents, or just build them up like we see here. Nothing special, no buffs going on. I just built up a whole bunch of LOA and did some serious damage going on right there. And then tip 2, use S2 on even combos. This is, one of the best ways to control power in the game. It will last for a very long time as well. But especially if you use Mystic Dispersion on, every few specials using S2, though you'll keep them at 0 for the rest of the fight. Great power controller. And then try to keep the reduction on for evens, unless you need to go onto odds. Don't forget to click on the left to go ahead and subscribe. Thanks again for watching.